on camera for a while, you can maybe go in a bathroom and hide for a while.
Yeah, well, it is the moment that we've all been waiting for, and the round one for the New England Patriots in the books.
Wow.
And so I get it. You had a need, and you drafted for the need, but you missed on. You did not select a guy that many are calling the next Emmitt Smith.
You know what that broadcast was missing last night? A live look-in of Gerard Mayo watching in his living room as picks 1 through 3 went off the board.
Yeah, right.
That would have been the interview I would have targeted if I was hosting at ESPN, but also slightly concerning that Will Campbell couldn't fit his arms around Goodell in the bear hug. Anybody else notice that? That was not great. No,
he's
honestly,
also having a hard time reaching his eyes to wipe his tears away.
Yeah. Now his arms are all I can see. But hey, this is going to be their future. This is Vrabel's first major decision. If you want to go back to the last successful run, 2001. If you don't hit on Richard Seymour, who knows? You know, everything else may be up in the air. Obviously became a Hall of Famer. So this is Vrabel's Richard Seymour type pick, and we'll see how Campbell performs.
It's just I think that we all probably expected that pick. But when I heard that there was a trade announced for the Cleveland Browns at number 2, I got a little giddy, like, oh, damn, did the Patriots really do it? And then I was like, oh, dude.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think of Jacksonville moving up and what they gave up to move up?
I like what Jacksonville did a lot more than what Cleveland did. I think trading back to 5 to get the defensive tackle when you just signed Myles Garrett to that major extension, like, I feel like Travis Hunter is, I know, he's not maybe going to be the elite receiver. If I'm the Browns, I need a guy like Travis Hunter more than I need a guy like Mason Graham. That's just my perspective. I don't know our draft guru thinks, but I thought that Jacksonville won that.
I mean, big nuts on that new general manager who looks like he's 17 or 18 years old.
Yeah, he's younger than I am. I hated the trade. I thought they gave up way too much for a kid that doesn't play quarterback. Like, that was an absolute haul. Cleveland clearly indicated they wanted nothing to do with this draft. They wanted out. They got their future first-round pick next year. They got a bunch of other picks. They have a ton of holes to fill. I think that was a great move by Cleveland, and the Jaguars are taking a massive risk, and because they're the Jaguars, it likely will backfire.
Yeah, I just look at the Jaguars being in a position where they got a new coach. I think they're building a new stadium, so maybe they're trying to, revitalize the organization. They got Trevor Lawrence, and you go up and it looks like that Travis Hunter is going to be in, because the head coach said it, is mainly going to be an offensive guy, and you'll sprinkle him in on defense. I don't mind that you literally gave up a first round for next year. If they feel like he's going to be a legit wide receiver.
Well, they gave away a first round for next year and a first round for the following year to move up. Correct?
No, I think it was just one.
I think they did, Shime, did they not?
So they gave up Jacksonville gave up 5, a second, and the next year's first.
Yes.
So Cleveland has
first.
Cleveland has 2 of the first 5 picks in the second round.
So they gave up a first-round pick for next year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, if you feel like that's like, I would have given up a first-round pick. I mean, obviously more for A.J. Brown, not necessarily that position, but they feel like this is going to be something that revitalizes the organization, the fan base. I got no issues with what they did with it. He's going to be mainly an offensive guy. So I just want, my biggest thing when I looked at that, I kind of knew the first 3 picks. Everybody kind of knew it. My thing was with New England. I just, like, I don't even care about the arm length. Like, I'm not saying this kid's not going to be a good player.
The arm length thing is the most ridiculous argument of all time. But the bottom line is, you went and drafted for need. I thought they weren't going to draft for need. So, okay, we have been guilty of whining about the offensive line. That's fine. I just don't know why you're willing to pass on somebody. In my case, it was Genty. Like, I feel like that's somebody who's going to be an explosive addition to your offense and is going to give Drake Maye an alternate weapon.
Right.
You wanted
Tyler Warren.
You wanted Ty Warren. He went somewhat late.
Yeah, he went to Indianapolis at 14. The second tight end taken behind the kid from Michigan, which
Loveland.
Loveland, which was a shocker to me. But I look at it like this. So let's say the Patriots, with their second-round pick, take a running back, a wide receiver, a tight end. I just feel like you could have got an offensive lineman that might not be as good as Will Campbell as a player, but you missed out on taking a maybe generational skill player.
Can we go over what are running backs paid in terms of rank in the NFL, and what are left tackles paid?
Left tackles are way ahead of running backs.
One's the top.
Yeah.
The other, outside of specialists, is the bottom. Running backs are the least highest paid non-special teams position in the NFL. So if you're going to say to me you can find a running back, even the good ones are cheap than mediocre tackles, you can't find cornerstone tackles, especially now. That you could have traded for Tunsil. Shime and I agree. That's what they should have done. But in terms of free agent franchise left tackles, those are very infrequent.
But if you look at the elite running backs that are at the top of the market and getting paid, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, those guys, Derrick Henry, those guys are generally high first-round draft picks. The elite, I'm not saying you can't get a good running back later in the second round.
What's more easy to find, a good running back in the second round or a good tackle in the second round?
But see, I think we're like, when we say good, that's like that. I think that might where you and I differ. When I'm talking about potential to be elite, right? So if
the man is the next Emmitt Smith. I mean, give me a break over here.
Yeah, that's the comparison for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I hate this argument on the Subaru of New England text line. We missed out on a running back in the first round. Give me a break, Greg. Okay, then you pick your poison. We missed out on a skill player on the offense in the first round. That is my assessment of the first pick by the New England Patriots when you're sitting there with a number 4 pick, and it bothers me. Sorry about that.
And if you don't like running back, well, you also missed out on the best receiver, who went only a few picks after you as well, by the way.
Because the way I look at it, Curtis, to say good, you can find good players, but I was talking to Jones and Keefe about this. My thing is, when you look at the 4th overall pick, let's say Will Campbell is elite when he's all said and done, and Ashton Genty or Tetero McMillan or Tyler Warren is elite when they're all said and done. They're Hall of Famers. I would much rather have the Emmitt Smith than the Walter Jones. I would much rather have the Randy Moss than the Orlando Pace. I would much rather have the Rob Gronkowski than,
Orlando Brown Jr.
Yeah, but I mean, no, Hall of Fame left tackle.
Joe Alt, my favorite player. But I hear what you're saying. In that, I actually like that they didn't take a big risk. Yeah. I feel like Vrabel is here because he's meat and potatoes. Yeah. He's getting the organization. I heard Mike Reese's report from ESPN pre-draft saying their goal was to get foundational support for their franchise quarterback, and that's what but you're right. If Ashton Genty's really great and Will Campbell is even good, you could say that was a mistake.
Or even if Will Campbell's really great.
Right.
But you're okay with the pick. You were reasonably happy last night with the pick.
Well, I've learned to not fight things I cannot change. So I feel like Will Campbell is a guy that was basically inevitable, and
I did become somewhat concerned with Genty when I saw him wearing the bedazzled Crocs. I am not a bedazzled Croc guy.
Massive ick.
Was that an ick?
Oh,
ick for you, Shine?
Yeah.
That's what the young kids are wearing, though. The young kids love the Crocs.
What is the opposite of an ick? Because as much as I rail on Travis Hunter as an NFL player, what he was wearing last night was awesome.